YouTube, how's it going? We're back with another 7-round mock draft. Today's video is covering the New York Giants, who have the second overall pick. They got a pick in each round, so we got 7 picks to go over here. Before we do that, if you didn't already know, we're doing a fan-voted mock draft. Link is always in the description. So you guys voted for the Giants, and if you click the link now, it'll bring you to the Colts pick. Got plenty of options there, and we'll keep moving on. But for the Giants pick, you guys, the fans, voted for Saquon Barkley, running back from Penn State. Not surprised by it. Saquon Barkley just got edged out for the first overall pick by you guys for Sam Darnold, so Barkley was still on the board there, and you guys had the Giants taking him. Now, who did I have the Giants taking in my mock draft? If I played GM, I have them also taking Saquon Barkley, the running back out of Penn State. I know Shermer's going to love to have this guy. There's this talk about they possibly get a quarterback. I can see it because they need a quarterback of the future. Eli Manning maybe isn't the guy long term. Obviously, probably is not going to be long-term quarterback. But Shermer seems like Eli Manning for right now. And I know how Shermer likes his running backs. You know, maybe known for overusing running backs, even when McKinnon and Murray were his running backs last year. So you can imagine how much he would love to have a guy like Saquon Barkley. So it would just make them better. And I know some of the fans think you're good with Paul Perkins out there like last year. Let me have it because you guys got Paul Perkins. But I think Barkley has got Perkins beat, and even Darkwa and Gallman. So Barkley is just a guy to bring in there, and you can use him right away in the running and the passing game. Just a excellent threat mismatch problem. On to the second round, I got them going with Mason Rudolph, quarterback, Oklahoma State. Now, I think Mason Rudolph's a first rounder. Some other people will say maybe he's not even a second rounder. I think he's a first rounder. People are worried about his velocity on the ball. I mean, he's got a great deep ball, very accurate. I think he's a smart quarterback, so he can. I don't think his transition would be too tough. I think he can pick up the NFL offense. He doesn't have to start right away, obviously, with Eli Manning, and then you got Davis Webb with Mason Rudolph for the future. So I'm a fan of Mason Rudolph. I think he's a Shermer type guy. I think he'll be able to come in there and learn and be the future quarterback possibly. So I think he's a first rounder. So them getting him in the second round would be excellent. On to the third round. I got the Giants going with Martinez Rankin, offensive lineman, Mississippi State, known as possibly a second rounder, but there is a chance he can drop to round 3. So this is kind of a dream draft, but keeping it realistic somewhat. And obviously the Giants have a huge need at lineman, at an offensive line, any offensive line position, particularly tackle. I mean, they may have to. They possibly could trade down with one of their first or second round pick to pick up more picks, so they can get more linemen. Because it's kind of tough waiting until round 3 here to get their first tackle, which they probably need one to start right away. But I think they can use free agency for that. Get your old lineman. Shermer did that with the Vikings. And this past free agency, they built their old line through free agency, so that could be their route there. That could be his idea to their front office. So Martinez Rankin would be a hell of a third round pick. I think he can come in there and play right away. If not, then it'd be early in his career. Definitely can help the Giants out with their offensive line struggles. To the fourth round, we got Braden Smith, another lineman from Auburn. I think this guy can play guard or tackle. I think he'd come in and start day one at guard. Another one of those guys that has a range of second to fourth round. I feel like this year's draft there's a lot of guys like that. There's guys that can be second to fourth round, second to fifth, really up in the air. I think day 2 of the draft and going into round 4, which is early day 3, I think it'll be a great draft this year. I think last year's first round has more star potential than this year's first round. But yeah, that day 2 and round 4 this year are going to be excellent. It can be very fun to watch. You can get a guy like Braden Smith, and that'll be an excellent pick. He'd come in there and start at guard right away for the Giants, help him out. To the 5th round, got him taking Fred Warner, linebacker from BYU. I think the Giants, back to them getting more picks. I think it's pretty important that they get more picks because I think they have more needs. Even though their defense is solid, they have some more defensive needs like linebacker. A guy like Fred Warner, another one of those guys that can go maybe 3rd to 5th round. He's all over the place. He's all over the place. Good at reading plays. Very athletic. I think he can help the Giants right away. One of my day 3 sleepers, or it should be early day 3 in my opinion. The guy's been rising up boards, so we'll see what he does in the combine. He's pretty athletic, so he may rise up a little more after this combine. I think the combine this year is going to matter a lot. Like usually I don't change my prospect rankings based off combine numbers, but I think there's so many guys that are so close, especially in that day 2, early day 3 range where numbers are going to matter. They're definitely going to matter because they're so close in grades. So a guy like Fred Warner could go from a 4th to 5th rounder to maybe a for sure day 2 guy. So if he's here, obviously the Giants would love to have a guy like this. So we're on to the 6th round. 2 more picks left. Isaac Yiadom, cornerback from Boston College. Ball hawk corner, good at attacking the ball, breaking up passes. I really like the Boston College, I was going to say DBs, but really just defensive players in general. They seem to be really good in the NFL. They got good coaching over there, getting them ready. They always got the top defense. Top defenses in college football every year. Problem with that is defenses don't win national championships. That's why you never see Boston College up there. But they have really good defensive players. They seem to work out in the NFL. Yiadom's a great corner. I know the Giants are pretty set at corner, but we're talking 6th round here. Get some depth, get some future here. I think pretty much every team could use a corner, even if it doesn't look like it. Like a team like the Jags, it may not look like it, but every team could use a corner. You see teams roll with like 4 corners a game, and injuries happen. So everybody needs more corners. Giants also have Eli Apple, so who knows what's going to happen with that? I'd imagine he stays, but rumors he could be dealt possibly. But always could use more corners. I like this Boston College guy. I know Mike Mayock's a big fan of him too. Mike Mayock's a pretty smart guy. He's a pretty smart guy, especially when it comes to defensive backs. So he knows he's a good sleeper for day 3. And on to their 7th round pick, wide receiver from Kansas State, Byron Pringle. They got plenty of receivers, but a lot of them got hurt this past year, so they could use some depth. But the main reason for this pick is maybe returner. They got Shane Vereen returning, but maybe some other guys in there. But they need a new returner. I like Byron Pringle day 1 as your kick returner. Very athletic. Reminds me of Cordero Patterson a little bit, not in terms of like style of play, but like size and the way he moves for his size is very impressive. Could light up the combine if he's there. But again, yeah, could work out for depth at receiver if everybody gets hurt. But my prediction for this year is that Eli Manning and Odell will be dirty dancing all over the end zone. So I think Odell will stay healthy. But again, you need the depth. Last year was a disaster between injuries and coaching. But I think the Giants will turn it around this year. I think with better coaching in there, and if everyone stays healthy, if you get in free agency and to draft and do it right, they could easily mess it up. I'm not a big fan of drafting certain quarterbacks for the future, even though I guess it's a need. But everybody was all hyped up about this quarterback draft class, so it's like you got to get your quarterback now because this is the best draft class there's going to be in a while. But it looks like we got some freshman quarterbacks, young quarterbacks in college that are good for the future. So I don't think teams are worrying too much about it. I think that's why a team like the Redskins went out and traded for Alex Smith. The Redskins were in a position to get a decent quarterback in this draft class, but they were worried. They were definitely worried. So maybe the quarterback class is good, better than the last few years, but maybe not as good as we expected, but still good. I don't want to get everybody confused there, but it's going to be good in a few years as well. So I don't think I don't think they should be in panic mode. Go and get your quarterback for the future now. Shermer likes Eli. I think he'll stick with him, but there is a chance maybe they try to get rid of him, pick up a new guy. Maybe Case Keenum comes to town, joins Shermer, maybe Bradford. I know the Giants fans probably don't like that, but I wouldn't complain if they took Rosen or Mayfield. I do like Lamar Jackson, but it's a little early. But Mason Rudolph 2nd round, I like that. I like getting your Barkley playmaker in the 1st. Kind of helps you win now. The Giants got to believe they're a playoff team, playoff contender, so get a guy that can help you now. I know it's not Shermer's say, but he's part of that. I know it's going to be the front office's say who they get, but they got to go for the win now. They can't just go rebuild mode right now. They're not the Browns or anything like that. So there's my 7-round mock draft for the Giants. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, that's my take, what I would do without trades. If I was a GM, I'd be looking for a lot of trades, gathering more picks. I believe in building a Super Bowl team in the draft. So, but yeah, fan voted Fans voted, and he chose Saquon Barkley. So who you guys going to pick for the Colts? Please click the link in the description. Go vote for the Colts. We're going to keep moving on. Colts 7-round mock draft will be mid to late this week, followed by the Broncos on Saturday, I believe. Tuesday, which is tomorrow, we'll be doing some more free agency breakdowns and predictions. Ezekiel Ansah, DeMarcus Lawrence, a couple of pass rushers for you guys. So stay tuned for all those. Plenty of coverage. Please like and subscribe. That'll do it for this one. Goodbye.